Well, howdy, folks. How's it going? I hope everyone's doing really good. Welcome to part two on the Yamaha fg410a restoration project. The first video, we started out with a bunch of, they were almost like barnacles growing on the back of the guitar. I mean, this guitar sat out in a barn in a gig bag for a number of years. So what we're going to do is probably address a few of the little dimples that are left and smooth this out with some really fine paper, and then we'll seal the guitar again, and that'll be the final step on that. I did address the sides of the guitar, which had the same thing going on with this dimpling finish effect that was happening. So this guitar's seen some extremes, below 0 to 100 degrees plus, throughout the 4 seasons in Maine. A lot of damp weather, and it's just amazingly straight for the conditions it's been subjected to. Now, these braces all fell out on their own perfectly with no breaks. There's barely any glue residue left. You can see a little bit here, okay. It just looks like they didn't put enough. So that's got to be addressed. And that's going to be a video all on its own, or if I even shoot video when I do it, I probably will, because I'm going to have to come up with some clever techniques to get all the braces glued back in it. But the braces basically just fell out on their own. The top is amazingly straight still. And what we're going to do right now is finish polishing up the top. I started on it. As you can see, it did come back to a shine. So we're going to hit it with some Taylor guitar polish and just clean this up as best we can and get that off the pick guard. So hopefully we can bring this back to a shine, and I think the guitar will look pretty respectable when we get done, honestly. You don't really see the back and sides, and they really don't look that bad now. So I've seen the cloudy, like gray green color happen under the lacquer on guitars before. I have a couple that actually have that same kind of thing happening. But I mean, the way that dimpled the finish on that guitar, this guitar was something I had never encountered ever. I don't know what was growing. It was like something growing on the back and sides of the guitar, so didn't look good. Could have been some sort of mold. Who knows? I'm still here. I'm not sick, so I was wearing a mask when I did the sanding, and I think it was just mostly blistered lacquer is what it looked like. And that kind of gray-green color is under the lacquer, and I've seen that before. Like I said, I have a couple guitars that have the same kind of thing happening, but it wasn't quite as extreme as this. Okay, so there's one polish right there with some Taylor guitar polish. Look at that. Just come right back, nice and shiny. We'll make sure to do that again. The next thing we need to address is the bridge here. So, as you can see, we've got some breaks in between the bridge pins. Pretty severe right there. We're going to address those. The bridge has not lifted on the guitar, surprisingly. Everything is still glued down and solid, so we're going to take a look at the bridge pad inside too and see if we need to fix that. I can't really feel anything bad Although the bald ends were stuck in there on a few of the strings that were left. So, it might be broken a few spots. I'm going to have to look at it. If it is, then we'll address that too. I can feel the bridge pad. It's not very thick. We may just do an overlay over it, you know, and glue a thin piece up in there, and that'll take care of it if we can't get it, you know, on a different route. But usually they're either totaled or they're okay. That one doesn't feel terrible, but it does concern me because of this stuff being broke out, and you can see the strings have grooved into the bridge some, and there's stuff that's broke out around them, so we're gonna have to definitely repair that. So that'll be something we'll probably take care of today, and we'll get a peek on the inside of the guitar too. I'm gonna get a light and stick the phone right in there and just take a quick look. And I got to try to figure out where all these braces belong that fell out of the guitar. So amazingly, they are in pristine condition, and they just need to be installed back in there. Got lucky there on that. So anyways, let's get to it. Okay, folks, buckle up. We're going to take a deep dive in and see where these braces are missing, if we can. Here we go. Hang on. Whoa, here we go. Okay, I got my little light in there. Yeah, you can see where this brace is missing. There's one. There's another one. Let's take a look at the bridge pad while we're right here. Well, it's not as bad as I thought. It's really hard to tell right from here. I think it may be okay. Let's kind of turn around this way. There is one brace missing on the bottom, on the back of the guitar. You're looking at the line right there. So I'm guessing there's probably some braces around the sound hole here, which are going to be probably a little tricky to see. Yeah, it's just kind of dark in there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do some digging. I guess that's the serial number. All right, so that helps. It'll give us a little bit of a visual of what we got to do in there. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to have to make some little jacks and stuff to push those braces in place and glue them. You know, it's time consuming. That's just what it is with this stuff sometimes. So we've got one. This brace here goes across the back, right across here, but that one piece fits to the back. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 braces right there that need to get put back in here. Like I said, thankfully they're all intact, and I just got to find out where they go and reinstall them. That'll be a tricky little video. Like I said, I'll have to do a bunch of prep work before I get to that point and see what's going on. Okay, so I think right now the best thing we're going to be able to tackle really is this. We're going to have to do some drop fills with super glue and a little bit of this and that to get that repaired. So let's fix that first. Now that I know the bridge pad is in decent shape, I'm not too worried about this. Now it is cracked, so we're going to have to put some glue across that too. And, you know, this could take a few sessions to get this back to where it belongs. So anyway, let's get the glue out and see what we can do with it. All right, here we go. Okay, first things first, let's just try to get some glue in where we can into some existing cracks here, and just try to build it up easy, and then we'll, if we have to fill any spots in, we will. I gotta get my glue so it will, there we go. Okay, that's a pretty big chunk. I'm gonna put that right in here and just let that kind of drift down in there. This is gel, super glue gel. I just gotta wipe a little bit of that off. I don't want to get too much in here. It will run down in a decent sized crack, so I don't mind using it, and it does build up pretty quick, which is a benefit too. Alright, I think we might as well address these cracks right here while we're right in the neighborhood. Alright, got another good one that kind of goes back this way. Nice crack right here. You know, I'm going to have to sand this back and clean this all up too, so that's why you don't put a ton of this on at once, because once you've sanded it out and filed it out by hand, you'll appreciate a little less next time. Okay, so I got a pretty good groove here. I'm going to just fill these in while we're right here in the bridge department, like I said. Now, it did have some decent break angle over the saddle here, so from what I could see with the strings that were on the guitar. So I'm not worried about, you know, a little notch in the hole, the peg hole is okay. It brings the string in closer to the saddle, which gives it a steeper break angle, okay? Now, this is pretty close to the pinholes anyway, and like I said, the break angle looked okay. So I'm just going to fill in these grooves just for strength purposes more than anything. And they can wear their way back in, and if it's not enough, we'll file them out a little bit and make a little steeper angle. So other than that, I think once we let that harden up, that's perfect. That gel, it's just thick enough, well, like you can see right there where it's filled that big hole in. I mean, that's missing wood there, and it's heavy enough so it will hang in the hole, and it won't just drizzle down into the guitar body. And it's good for building up stuff. That's really the only time I really use the gel, heavy viscosity stuff. If you're trying to fill a really thin crack, you'd be better off with the thin super glue or the capillary action, as they call it. And that works good too. I mean, that just a fine crack, that stuff will run right down in it. It's almost like the viscosity of water, actually. But you got to be careful with that stuff too. Well, anyway, folks, I think that's as far as I'm going to go on this for right now. I've got to let this dry up in good shape, and then I'll rework the surface of it and blend everything back in, and you won't even know I was there when I get done, hopefully. And then we will start the process of the braces. I wanted to try to get all the exterior stuff fixed up first, and the next hurdle is going to be on the inside of the guitar, which, like I said, I'm going to probably take a good day and get all my clamps and jigs made up, and so they fit well, and that way I can kind of document this as I do it. And just like we just did, I stuck the phone inside. I can glue a couple braces in and I'll show you what the setup is before we do it, and what I'm using to hold the braces in, and show you what it looks like as it, set up inside the guitar in actual use. So hopefully I can capture all that and be some helpful information for you guys. This is tricky business when you get doing this stuff. It's not impossible, but it's really good to nail it on the first try, because if you stick a brace in there with a bunch of glue on it and your clamps ain't right and you got to pull it out, you're going to have to clean that glue surface again, and it can be tedious and really frustrating. So take more time on your prep work, and things will work out a lot better for you. And, like I said, what you want to do really is build your jacks, whatever you're going to use, wedges, to hold your braces in, and you want to dry run it, dry fit these pats and all the support stuff that you're going to use to hold it up in there. Do a couple dry runs with them and make sure you can easily achieve it every time, so you know which wedges or jacks to put in first. And you should be able to nail it the first time. That's really the goal. Get yourself a little handheld mirror that you can look in there. They make them with lights on them now, and that's kind of handy too. Or put a light right inside the guitar, and you can kind of feel most of the places where it's got to go anyway, and just double check everything and take your time. Like I said, put more of your effort into the setup than the actual day that you're gluing the stuff in, and you'll thank yourself in the end. It will usually be achievable, like I said. And even I'm going to probably use fish glue or tight bond to glue these in, and you do have some work time with it, but it's not an endless amount of work time. So you got to make sure that everything's right, and you're going to be able to hold the piece in there and get everything set up in an orderly fashion and in a timely fashion. Well, okay, guys, thanks again for watching this project here. It's been fun so far, and I'm really happy to be getting this one back up and running, and it looks a lot better than it did. I can't really flip this on its face, but we got most of the barnacles off it from, if you watch the first video, this had like some weird stuff growing on it, and it had all this like dimples in the lacquer and blisters. It was really funky. This has been through a lot of weather and stuff, so it's looking a lot better already, and it's already surpassed my expectations of what it was going to look like. So that's a really good thing. And the top looks beautiful again. It's nice and shiny. This is going to clean up real nice, and it should play and sound great. Okay, guys, well, that's about all I can do for today. And that's all I do when you have to fill these in. Get some gel. I'm just using crazy glue, okay? And it works good. It does. It's, like I said, it's good for building up pieces like that where there's a big gap, and you just got to measure out the right drops to put in there, and it surprisingly will stay there and kind of hold itself there, because it's quite heavy, and it works great. Once that hardens up, you can hit that with a file or some sandpaper or anything you got, and that'll plane off nice and smooth, and we'll add some color to it if needed, and the bridge pins are going to cover most of it anyway, so it's all good. Well, thanks again, folks. We'll see you on the next one, and hopefully we can clean this one up, get all the braces installed back in the guitar, and after that's all glued up and secured, we should be able to string the guitar up and play it. I am going to clean the frets up and recrown them and just touch the fret ends. Get a few sharp ones, you know. You can only expect that from being left in a barn. So it's a tough guitar and it's coming back. I will say that. I am anxious to hear it and try it out. Well, thanks again, folks. Welcome to all the new subscribers. And we'll see you guys real soon. Be good. Okie doke.